Hello and welcome to Faultlines. I'm your host Shahzad Raza. The economy of Pakistan is showing great potential and upward trajectory. The current account surplus is 22 years high, almost $2.1 billion at the moment. Stock market is breaking all previous records. Pakistan's IT export is touching almost $4 billion and textile export is more than $17 billion at the moment. And leading international financial institutions have declared Pakistan a leader among the emerging markets. But every emerging market has its own challenges and potential threats to its progress and growth. In Pakistan, there are two critical challenges. One is fiscal discipline and the other is the tax collection. And there are several other related issues that how we are going to go from this takeoff stage which we are at the moment. Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb, who is in the United States at the moment, he said that Pakistan would usher a new era with the United States of America in economic cooperation. Pakistan needs to unlock several key areas with the United States of America, including the cooperation in cryptocurrency, of course, the digital infrastructure, artificial intelligence, and other such areas. And in mine and minerals, the United States has already shown its great potential and interest. To discuss these issues, we have with us Dr. Aima Mehdi. She's joining us from London, a known economist. Thank you so much, Dr. Aima Mehdi, for your time. Ahmed Chinoy, Director of Pakistan Stock Exchange, is also with us. Thank you very much, Ahmed Chinoy, sir, for your time as well. And we have Ahmed Meer in the studio. He is a businessman, an entrepreneur, Pakistan, leading personality in United Arab Emirates, and the chairman of Vision Pakistan. Thank you very much, Shakil, sir, for your time as well. Dr. Aima, once again, thank you very much for your time. And let's begin by asking this question, the challenges, the fiscal discipline, the tax collection, and both are the very big areas. So the government's effort to minimize the burden which is on the government at the moment to tighten the belt, austerity drive, and get rid of all those sick units or go for the privatization process. How important it is, and are you satisfied with the pace of work which is going on in this very area?
Thank you, first of all. Thank you so much for having me on this show. Thank you for beginning with the other side of the question. I know there's a lot of good words about the government and how everything is operating, but nonetheless, we have to be more cautious about the current position. The thing that I'm a bit skeptical and scared about is that there's a over reliance on tax collection from a specific class in the country, and now that creates a problem and a challenge because the tax burden is coming on the salaried class, and that entices
Dr. Aima,
challenges. Yeah.
sorry for the interruption, but we would be discussing the challenges facing the tax collection and the federal tax collecting agencies. But at the moment, let's talk about the government's effort for getting rid of the burdened institutions, the sick units, or the state-owned enterprises,
Okay.
the fiscal discipline. And then we'll talk about the tax collection targets and potential areas in
Okay.
detail.
Okay. So in terms of privatization, I think there's a we've received good news that PIA will be allowed to operate towards UK and other different routes that it wasn't allowed to. This automatically will increase the value and the attractiveness of the airline, and so the privatization is going to be easier. So that's one good thing. Apart from that, there has been a lot of ongoing talks about Russia helping out Pakistan with its steel mill in Karachi, and this steel mill was actually incorporated with Russia's help. So I think that's also a good news. We'll either be privatizing or be producing enough enough of these the steel input for the country. That's also good news. Apart from that, we do have some non-performing government institution that we need to abolish completely. And I think the way the government is pursuing the privatization act, I think it's quite lucrative, especially with this. We're going to get off PIF off the hook completely, and these new routes operating into Europe and UK. I think it's quite beneficial, and of course the steel and the oil refineries with Russia's aid. That's also a good point. So I think we are on the right track. Let's see where we go, but we are on the right track.
All right, all right. Shakil Saab, the question is that you primarily deal in e-commerce activities and you are here to train more than 500,000 youths at the moment. So the question is, when we think of e-commerce, so the e-commerce giant like Amazon, one of the largest companies in the world, having the budget more than the budget of the countries like Pakistan. So how potential this area is for the country if we just focus on e-commerce, not anything else, just e-commerce?
Raza, thank you very much for first of all. आपने खुद ही मेरे ख्याल में जवाब दे दिया. Sorry, I have to go in English.
No, it's all right. Go on.
Okay. So जवाब दे दिया. You said Amazon has overall, if you look at the revenues and the budgets, it's bigger than an average country. So one big company, $1 trillion company, is good enough to run the whole country. So that's the potential. What the potential here, for example, there are few platforms in Pakistan as well. But platforms like Amazon, when they land here, and also why not us? Like why not Pakistanis? They launch their own platforms which compete with Amazon and eBay and all the international platforms. What would happen? We would generate so much economic activity. On one side, we're generating revenue. On the other side, we are creating jobs. There are youth who would, create the stores. And, the simple basic rule of e-commerce is you sell products online. We have amazing products in Pakistan, which not only we can sell in Pakistan, but we can export as well. So there's a huge potential. I think this can, if we plan it properly, if we implement it properly, this would have $1 trillion potential
and
for Pakistan.
You don't have to own the project. You can act as a middleman, I believe, right?
Absolutely. So the technology, why reinvent the wheel? If, like, for example, technology is already there, so what we have to do is there's a different pieces of the puzzle. You have to put them together. On one side, the technology, other side, youth. 65% of population of Pakistan is youth, so they're motivated. Inspire them. They do the hard work, as well as then our own products and services and businesses. If we connect all this together, that becomes one of the world's best platform for e-commerce.
I mean, there are several such platforms already working in Pakistan. But they haven't reached kind of the remarkable position. I mean, of course, they are not even closer to the platforms like Amazon or eBay, but even by South Asian standard, we haven't reached that remarkable, the target. So what is the missing link? Exactly, what exactly these platforms are missing?
There are various things. I think one of the things is, first of all, like if you have exposure worldwide, if you have lived in Europe, if you lived in America, you have experienced the services. For example, earlier we were discussing this and you mentioned like how good their service is, how good their customers service department is, and then if you have to do returns, they're really good with it. When it comes to Pakistan, I think the platforms are, they're good enough for the basic stuff, you can say, but when it comes to providing excellent international level customer services, when the product of the quality, like sometimes you order some stuff and then you're not sure what exactly you're going to get, and there's a bit of confusion among the customers as well. Like they are a little bit scared when they want to order online, and I think the platform, there needs to have a national level platform, first of all, where people can trust. And how you generate trust? You have right people. Like why not? Why not, if you're doing multi-billion dollar, this is multi-billion dollar project, why don't hire people from America and the UK and the US and the Middle East? And for example, we're used to, and I have a completely different mentality, we're used to American company Apple, they're hiring Indian people or Pakistani people. Why can't we hire those people? Simply
of course. One more question before I move to Ahmed Saab. At the moment, our IT export is $3.7 billion, and Prime Minister has already given direction to the ministries and departments concerned to take these exports to $25 billion in 5 years' time. Possible, and how possible? Using these latest technologies and getting full benefit or the potential of e-commerce you just mentioned?
Absolutely. There are a few technologies. For example, on one side there's e-commerce and then AI. These days AI is already here, and within the next 5 years there's the whole world map. When you look into technology, it's going to change. So what if we start promoting the startups and the businesses which already exist in Pakistan, which are working in AI, and especially again, I come to the youth. We have huge manpower. Why don't we train them, give them advanced skill in AI, and you would see, like we would be, if we don't do anything else, if we grab e-commerce and on one side and AI on the other side, we would be within the 5 years the leading country in AI and these technologies, and that would mean we can generate much more than $25 billion.
All right. Ahmed Meer, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I mentioned in my introduction that stock market is breaking all the previous records, and you know the people, the business community, and of course the government, they are taking huge pride that how Pakistan's stock exchange is behaving these days. So what are the key factors behind these successes? Just explain in simple words, sir.
Thank you very much. We have gone up leaps and bounds, starting from 40,000 till 1,40,000. And the whole economic scenario has changed with the advancement, with the positive changes at the Pakistan Stock Exchange. When you are asking about valid reasons for that, yes, the first reason is that trust level and confidence level on the Pakistan Stock Exchange came in with the trust level and confidence level in the government. When the government did positive things, not only for the economy of Pakistan, but also for the successful running of the stock exchange, things started happening. The second reason is that Pakistani stock market was very much undervalued. We were, let's say, operating at 4 or 5 PE ratio. Now we have gone up to 7 PE ratio. The international standard is about 12 to 13 PE ratio. So we have got still a lot of, I think, room and space that this market will flow. Traditionally, we used to have 7 to 8% dividend yield, and then about 10 to 15% was the capital yield. I think that was the best return on any investment in Pakistan. And if you compare in the last 2 years, stock exchange has given the best return in any category of businesses in Pakistan. So people are interested in it, people are going for it, and it's an ease of doing business over there, except for the opening of accounts. Obviously, it's a lot of painstaking there, but when you go and see other ease of doing businesses wherein you can buy today, get the shares transferred in your name today, and then you can sell it now. So that's the reason for the success, that people who want to get away from this investment can do it in within minutes. And when you want to get in to this investment, you can get in within minutes. So it's a win-win scenario for the investor. And I think the investors is in quite a comfortable position while investing in Pakistan Stock Exchange.
That's fine. But let's talk about the real connectivity between the stock market and the industry in Pakistan. For example, an ordinary person having no, an ordinary person would think in a manner that any company or any industry, sugar industry, cotton industry, textile industry, if they are really performing well within the country or outside, only then their share would reflect an upward trajectory in the stock market, and then stock market would have a solid upward trend. But many people, they believe that our stock market, it behaves, well or poorly on the basis of speculation, bad news or good news. So this connectivity, the real connectivity between the market and the industry, how important it is? And do you think that we have to work on this as well?
Well, it's very important, one simple answer. And the second answer is that it not lies in the progress of the market, in the advancement of the rates of the shares, but it lies in the listing that happens at Pakistan Stock Exchange. The more companies come in, the more investment start coming in. That company will bring its own, let's say, 70 to 80% investment. The balance would be invested by the local investors over here. And I think those investors know for sure that they are contributing towards national expenditure by investing in Pakistan Stock Exchange, by investing in companies which are coming up. And this shows their trust and reliability on the working of the exchange, and also on the economic scenario of the Pakistan, of the state of Pakistan. So these things combined will have a direct impact on the economy of Pakistan, wherein the people will invest in the progress of the companies, and then the progress of the companies will itself show that how it's lucrative to operate in Pakistan, how it's lucrative to invest in Pakistan, how it's lucrative as far as the ease of doing business in Pakistan.
Fair enough. But sir, let me rephrase my question and put it in another way. don't you think that the stock market, any progress or upward or downward trend in the stock market should be the barometer of an overall economic progress of any country? Don't you think that stock market has to be a barometer?
Well, one thing that you will admit that when the market is going well, uh, things change very rapidly. The economic scenario is taken as very good and healthy, and it also shows that the companies that are operating in Pakistan are minting money in Pakistan. You look at the figures of the listed companies in the past several years, and in the past several years, the companies have gone up from leaps and bounds. And if they go up, it gives an incentive to other investors all over the world to come in Pakistan and invest. They feel that whatever the sector is, that sector is making money in Pakistan, and the investors worldwide, while looking at the figures of the stock exchange, do come in Pakistan and try to invest in that category also. So there are now a number of investors that are coming to Pakistan. They are trying to first establish their companies, operate for a few years, and then go for listing for public funding. So I think by and large, stock exchange is always a barometer. It's not as simple that if the market is going up or if the market is going down, things change. The things do not change. It's the perception of the people that Pakistan is a lucrative market to do business. And I think that is the biggest reward
Point well
that we
taken, sir.
get
Point
from the
well
stock
taken.
exchange.
Uh, Point well taken. Dr. Aima, you must have heard Federal Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb that he was hopeful of a renewed economic cooperation between the two countries, especially in cryptocurrency, digital infrastructure, and of course artificial intelligence. But overall in the world, the United States of America, I mean, we have seen that they are not really interested in outsourcing their work to any other country. Take China, for example. But in case of Pakistan, you think that these areas can be further explored in particularly in benefit of Pakistan primarily?
Just to clarify, Shahzad, so this question is specifically about US interest in Pakistan in terms of cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency, digital infrastructure, and artificial intelligence. They are three of the areas which your finance minister talk about while he is in the United States of America. And the two countries, according to him, are going to cooperate further. And there would be a new era of economic cooperation, not only in these three areas, other areas as well. I just mentioned these three areas before you.
Yeah. So there has been a lot of commotion and a lot of sound around crypto, Bitcoin, etc. between US and Pakistan. We've got like a crypto advisor who's been visiting US quite often and stuff. It's too early, but it's the thing that I'm really looking into is US or any other country is not going to outsource their AI technologies because these are highly secretive and they're very difficult to develop and they can be easily and the sadness is they can be easily copied. So if we think at any point that we will get to the brick and mortar of their US's AI infrastructure, I think we're just daydreaming because this will never get materialized. It's either US, China, or whatever country. Nobody shares these things because they're very secretive, but sadly very easy to copy, as I said. However, US might, we might be able to enhance the production of Bitcoins because we have energy and we might be able to have some sort of Bitcoin wallets. And at the same time, our budget does show a line item of Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. Sure, that's fine, but I don't see it as a long-term enhancement for the country or US will be interested in doing this. However, I do think we will be able to negotiate the tariffs with the US and US will definitely bring tariffs down for Pakistan solely because Pakistan has a very vital socio-economic position right now with the economic consortium between Russia, Afghanistan, China. US will give this levy or benefit to Pakistan to reduce its economic tariffs, and Pakistan might be able to export more to the US in terms of its textile sector, etc. However, I also think, and it's a completely personal view, that having Bitcoin and all these sort of currencies in Pakistan will be very challenging because they're very opaque. There's no transparency. We don't have a full-fledged proper system, and people should be very cautious when it comes to investing in these things.
Crypto
However,
Council,
Pakistan
and
has
they are working on the legislation, the specific legislation to give it a legal cover and streamline the entire process. But don't you think, broadly speaking, all these areas which we are talking about, they come under the IT-related products and services delivery. The question is, a lot of work is available all over the world. I mean, Shakil Saab was just mentioning the kind of potential the just one segment e-commerce has. The one company, the value of one company is, the more than the entire budget of countries like Pakistan. So, lot of work available, even if not only in the United States of America, but everywhere. Take India, for example, China, Vietnam, Hong Kong.
Yes, I think Pakistan is the world's fifth largest population. So even if we look at our internal demand and follow the same pattern as China, why does China have the biggest wallet, for example, like ePay or like Alipay and all these things? Because they have, or they use WeChat to pay for stuff, is because they have a big population. So if we internalize, we make a standard, thorough, internal e-commerce platform. And we have to provide things like coverage on payments. So if it's a false payment and someone is trying to hack into your data, we need to provide better security, internet security. We need to ensure that the people who are listing their items are true companies, and there's a special refunds process. So I think because we have such a big population and which brings in a huge demand, I think there's a huge demand for local products, and we should definitely exploit on this opportunity. And then once we develop that internally, we can grow externally and globally. So we have that, but we need is stability in our reforms, in our taxation system, and also an advancement in infrastructure in terms of electricity, in terms of IT controls and online safety. That's it.
All right. Shakil Saab, you earlier you were mentioning the 65% of Pakistan's population, they are considered youth, they are young people, and it's a huge potential. But at the same time, the people say if this potential is not utilized in a good manner, this could become a ticking time bomb as well. So my question: you are here to train X number of these youngsters in e-commerce practices. So how easy it is for any person with some good know-how of this particular area, so that it becomes the entrepreneur of its own self, his own self or her own self.
All right, thank you very much. But it's simple enough. Like we already have. We are around number 4 at the moment in freelancing markets. So freelancing markets, just to make it simple, digital marketing, you have digital marketing skills, or you are a graphic designer, you're a web developer, you are an AI expert. You go online and offer your services, especially to the world, and they give you like service order. Pakistan is generating, so Pakistani youth already generating more than $500 million. So this is a target of this year. So that tells you, yeah, this is already a successful model, and we are growing so fast. And I think there's a potential that we can train our youth who can initially become freelancers, offer their services worldwide on one of the biggest platforms, and they can at least start making $1,000, $2,000 per month.
Really?
But add that up. So my plan is by 2030 train up at least 10 million Pakistani youth free of charge. But when I say train them, they go onto a platform where it's AI based. So it's smart system. It knows what your skill is and what suits you. And then it trains you up and does your exams and testing and everything. And then at the end, there's a finished product. So not only that, then we take it from here and then we connect it worldwide so that they can start making money. So the focus of the youth, my point is, focus of the youth should be the earnings right now. The ticking bomb, if they are not focused on their earnings, their careers, and it's true for any person. If your finances are in good order, then you can do better things. You will think positively. If there's a problem and your focus is on politics or something else, obviously that is a ticking bomb. So that's what I want to change, and not only when we do this.
So it's not going to be a traditional classroom, teaching or training. It's an AI-based training, so anyone can go, and the platform is there, free of cost, available to the Pakistani youth.
So there are 2 phases. Phase 1 is like online platform, which you're sitting in a village, you're sitting in a city. You can go online, register, and it will act as a live tutor. So it will train you up and then connect you with the right platforms where you can go and offer your services. So you become a freelancer, which is the first stage of becoming an entrepreneur. Second phase is all the districts of Pakistan. I'm with my partners and I'm discussing this, and we're setting up first one in Islamabad, have the co-working spaces. So because what happens when they start making some money, then there are people, or there are youth who has the potential to become the next Elon Musk, to become the next Jeff Bezos, so that they can get together, they get all the support, and we get like few heroes like them. I think this country is onto a winner already.
Yeah, and you must have been talking to the concerned departments and the ministries in the government, so because the government's job is to facilitate any such activity by the private sector for the betterment of the youth and overall country. So what sort of response you have got, because the government is giving so much focus and attention to these services and trainings?
Responses are good. Obviously, I'm here in Islamabad to have so many meetings, and we're finalizing, and the date we have finalized that this platform would be launched, because next month is August. So 14th of August, it would be the best day to launch this platform. And the support is really good, and then sometimes, because I'm coming from the practical background, the business background, because I've done and dusted already, this is my journey as well. I was one time a small freelancer, and now, alhamdulillah, millionaire.
Right.
So same path I want to take all the youth. There are some practical steps. There are already some platforms from government side as well. I think we just update it, integrate AI, integrate the latest technology into it. This can do wonders for Pakistan.
Exactly, exactly. We have with us Shafique Swati. He's the convener of FPCCI. Shafique Swati sahab, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Swati sahab, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
All
me?
right, sir. All right. So, FPCCI, and I mean, there are several traders bodies which are, conducting strikes in the country on, the government decisions of how to collect maximum amount of taxes. So, what is the FPCCI's response to this? Because FPCCI is not taking part in this entire process of protest and agitation, don't you think?
First of all, thank you very much, Shahzad Raza, for having me in your program. You rightly said FPCCI, so far, FPCCI is not a part of this strikes and agitation, but FPCCI is in the process of negotiations with the government officials, like our President Atif Ikram Sheikh had a meeting with the esteemed businessmen, with Finance Minister and State Minister, and there was a series of meetings. And yesterday, even the government officials gave some assurance that they will put these concerns to the Prime Minister, and hopefully it will be resolved soon. But one thing which need to understand that businessman is already, suffering a lot due to some factors. Like everything was going very good, even financial bill 25, 26 was very good and commended by the business community, but some of the laws which were incorporated in the financial bill, like 37A, 21 and etc. clauses, which was very harsh for the businessman. Businessman is already contributing a lot. As you already said before, the government's responsibility is to facilitate the businessman, not to do a business. So whenever government is not facilitating the businessman, then how would he perform? Like your exports, we need to enhance our exports, but due to some factors like energy rates, like interest rate, and these harsh laws, they compelled to shut down their businesses.
Right.
So it's a very serious concern.
Let me ask a question. We haven't heard any single example in which it was observed that the Federal Bureau of Revenue or any other tax collecting agencies collected more tax than the payable from any businessman, from any shop or any industry, because they only collect the tax which is payable, which is due, don't you think?
Agreed. Businessman is ready to pay the taxes. You won't find even a single businessman who denied to pay the taxes. But there are still, there are flaws and loopholes in the system of FBR which needs to be reformed. And I believe if government will give the ownership to the businessman, and whenever they make the policy, this is very unfortunate. Whenever government is making the policies, they don't take the business stake, because businessman is the main stakeholder. They don't take them on board.
You just
Why?
mentioned that the business community should be allowed to take the ownership. What do you mean
Yeah.
by that? How they are going to take the ownership? Because it's a role of FBR to collect the tax. It's the duty of any businessman, any person who's earning money in Pakistan to pay its due taxes. But when the taxes are not paid in time, when the taxes are evaded, only then the federal or provincial agencies they come into the fact and start holding inquiries, taking strict and stringent measures. But before
I
that, if the taxes are paid with due diligence, then there is no point of taking any harsh steps by the government.
I meant about the ownership that was for taking on board while making the policies. You have to give the conducive environment to the businessman, because if business businessman is not having a conducive environment, how would he perform? You know,
Right.
at the moment, businessman is real jihadis, because at current circumstances, businessman is performing. Even he has a lot of options to go and shift their businesses, but still they are very
They have done
patriotic.
it in the past. They have done it in the past. There are several businessmen, many big companies who shifted their business from Pakistan.
I could get your question because some.
I'm saying, I mean, there are several examples available with us that in the past that businessmen, they took their business away from Pakistan when the environment was not
Able to
conducive
get
for
your
them, of
question.
course, and nobody can force them to stay in Pakistan. Of course, it's a responsibility of the government to provide you the congenial and conducive environment. But at the same time, when we hear the news that such a big sector is not paying the due tax, and there are a lot of tax evasion. Of course, there may be loopholes within the government infrastructure as well, but primarily it's a responsibility of any person to pay the tax without asking.
Yes, you're right. But as I said earlier, businessman is not denying to pay the taxes. All we all need to do is to sit together and resolve the issues. The issues arises when there is lack of cooperation. So we need to cooperate each other so that we could get more maximum out of this for our country. Because every businessman, even government officials, they want to uh, do their best for this country, because this is our beloved country.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shafique Swati Saab, convener of FPCCI. Very quickly, when we just talk about the tax collection and some strict measures the government is taking these days, and why it was important to take tough decisions, strict measures, because the people, they really don't pay taxes voluntarily. Not everyone, but many of them. So that's why we have this lowest tax to GDP ratio in the entire region. So how can they just ask the government not to take the strict measures when at the first place the people who are not cooperating with the government?
I think this question answers itself on its own. The issue is we've had a fiscal problem since 1990. And right now, businessmen are having to swallow this hard pill of paying taxes because in the past there has been a lot of tax evasion in the country. And unfortunately, it's a consortium of both political interest in the big businesses and the whole of big businessmen in the politics having links and ties to influential, ruling parties, whoever they are, and then they can, get away. If we had very strict and disciplined tax laws since day one, we wouldn't be facing this situation now where we are in right now. Businesses are prone and habitual of getting into these indisciplined uh, sort of acts where they have been bribing people at FPR, and they have been evading tax right now, because we are in an IMF program and IMF wants to restructure all the tax evasion laws, which and this is becoming very hard for businessmen, because this is how they've been making lots and lots of windfall profits by evading all the taxes. Now they're in trouble because they don't want to pay those taxes. However, on the other side of the coin, the issue is with the government. Government is not providing businesses or industries and the stability that they require, and they're not providing them with the portal that they require to file their taxes in an easy manner. Plus, the government is responsible of harnessing an environment where it's easy to
Of course it is.
have a
Of course it
prosperous
is.
business, and government is not
Of
doing
course.
that. There is economic instability, there is political instability, there is policy instability. We don't have the right side of energy policies. In the past 1.5 decades, businesses have suffered a lot because of electricity crisis.
No, but
Even if you
haven't
see
you
right
seen,
now,
Dr. Aima, haven't you seen during the last 4 years, the government has taken several tough decisions, and that's why all, these data which is available before us and the upward trajectory, in current account surplus, stock market, exports,
no,
of
no, no.
course, and of
I
course
don't
the
think that's
remittances, they are record high. Foreign direct investment is coming, much better than the last parallel year. So don't you agree, won't you agree that, there are steps to be taken by the government, but whatever the government has taken is in the larger interest of the country. And now it's time for the business community, the private sector, to play its due role.
Well, I think I'm fortunate enough today to have this opportunity to clarify this for the 100th time on either of the TV channels that appear on, that getting foreign remittances is the worst thing ever for an economy. An economy that thinks that getting foreign remittances is a way to success is a complete failure, because reliance on foreign remittances, do you know what it means? It means that people in Pakistan cannot earn enough to sustain themselves. So people who are living abroad, there are lots of Pakistanis who are living abroad. They're sending in money to sustain their families and provide for them. So this is the worst kind of policy, and I just don't understand how politicians and educated, smart people like you can say that these remittances are in the good favor of the country. They're not.
No, but it's not
That's the
only,
first
it's
thing.
not only, Shakil Saab is here in the studio, not only the people who are living abroad, actually physical living abroad, but there are people sitting in Pakistan and getting these foreign exchange revenue. The freelancer, these are all part of the entire plan we are looking for.
Yes, but if you compare yourself, compare the country with other countries in the region, our freelancing business is way behind
Of
where it
course,
should have been.
we agree,
It's way
and that's
behind.
why people,
And you cannot ignore
of
the
course,
structural
I agree with
structural
you.
inefficiencies in the country
But
from
at the same
from
time, what
from
about having a good human resource, exporting that human resource to the desired destinations, and get those important remittances?
No, I don't agree. The best
don't consider it a
destination for
human
human
resource,
resource is the
but the
country
brain
yourself.
drain.
Yeah, so it's a brain drain. Why are we sending out? Why are all the smart people leaving? We've had the highest rate of
All right,
exodus
let me.
last year and the year before that.
Do you have anything to add to it? It's, I call it a human resource. Dr. Aima is saying drain. So what's the difference? You can take it either way, half empty, half full.
I will go bang in the middle, by the way. I don't believe, like, so for example, I was born here and then went out. You can say, okay, yeah, this guy moved to a different country to have a better future. Yes, I had a better future in the UK. I started my businesses there, but then now it's the time to come back to the country and, return, to give back. So it's always good when people go abroad, and I don't see it as a bad thing, because even these remittances coming from abroad, yeah, they play a big role in economy. But I agree with Dr. Saiba when she says that if we start to rely on it completely, then we're not winning. So both things, I think remittances and people going abroad, and I don't even mind people moving businesses from here to other countries, because end of the day, Pakistanis, they send all their money to Pakistan.
So you're saying that we should not rely upon it, but take it as a bonus?
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Shakil Saab, for your time. Thank you very much, Dr. Aima Mehdi, for your time as well. Ahmed Chinoy Saab and Shafique Swati Saab, thank you very much. And thank you very much, viewers, for watching the program. Good night and Khuda Hafiz.